Milwaukee. Oh wait, it's not the depth chart.
Yeah,
Nothing,
for
not much, nothing different in Milwaukee, I guess.
yeah, status quo for Milwaukee. So basically know what to expect. The difference maybe this year is that Brooke Lopez is healthy, hopefully. So that probably is the biggest change here. Outside of that, I think mostly the rotation will stay the same from last season.
Yeah. We've seen other than Giannis, I guess, we've seen Drew Middleton in some drafts falling a bit, right? I'm not sure if they're just being overlooked or they're not, they're the older choices in the league. But do you see? So let's go through position by. Maybe we could first talk about Chris Middleton. Or should we be worried about the Chris Middleton injury? And I think the reason why he's dropping down is because he's injured and they might quote unquote load manage him.
I haven't heard about load managing, but that's possible. But he missed the end of the playoffs already. Like before last season, there was a problem because they played into the finals. He went to the Olympics and then all the way to the training camp. So that was really a red flag already. He was really tired going into last season, and then he got injured. I think also in the regular season he got injured and in the playoffs. But this year he was able to recover from multiple injuries. The injury he currently has, I think, is in the hand. If I'm not mistaken, or something. And reportedly, he's gonna be ready. If not the first week or maybe start of the season, he's gonna be ready. But if he's gonna miss time, he's gonna miss just the first week. So I think um the discount being given to Middleton is too much. A lot of people are messaging that he went to 50s, to 60s. I think that's very low. It's very low for Middleton.
So you still expect him to be the same Chris Middleton
I think
as he
so.
was? Because we've been talking
Boring.
about other, boring picks like Tobias, who's dropped down by a lot. Middleton is another one of those like non-sexy picks, non-exciting picks because you know what to expect, you know what to get. But this, don't get me wrong, Chris Middleton is one of the players that uh, experienced fantasy managers love because he doesn't really give you too many. There aren't much holes in his game. So you're still expecting the same Chris Middleton.
I'm expecting the same Chris Middleton. I think one problem with him is that managers in the early rounds are either going big or going point guard. Because players like Chris Middleton, what he does, he scores threes and everything. You can get them later in the draft. I mean, it's
Mhm.
easier. It's easier, I guess. But if he was a center, let's say, or a point guard, maybe they won't overlook him as much. No, so I think that's the problem with Chris Middleton. Drew Holiday's case. That's why if you look at it, Drew and Middleton are the same. Boring picks. You know what to expect from them. But Drew is dropping a little lower, not as low as Middleton, just a little like in the 40s, sometimes in the
Yeah,
early
but
mid 30s to the late 30s. So it's because he's a point guard. So in a way, people are still in his stat set is still in demand.
no, not just
In
that. Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday has always ranked higher than Middleton during drafts.
not
Has always been.
necessarily. It,
Yeah, he
um,
has, right? He's always
I
been,
mean,
a more famous or a more popular choice among managers.
in previous years, are you saying in
Yeah, yeah,
previous years?
in previous years, even in previous years, yeah.
Um, I think they're close. I mean, Chris Middleton was top 30 picks, top 30 sometimes the last few seasons. Rank wise, rank wise overall after the season, they're also near, they're also close. Because Drew Holiday also had a period of time where he struggled also, maybe a season or so. But
Yeah.
before, I agree with you. Before he was almost a first rounder, late first round pick, Drew Holiday.
Yeah, I
There
remember
was a
you.
time.
Yeah,
There was a
either a
time, yeah.
late first round or a sure second round pick.
Yeah.
Um,
But
and
after
then
that, after that season where he dropped
yeah, I think that
managers
was
to
the New Orleans season. I think maybe the last season in New Orleans, the last full season he
mm,
had with New Orleans before getting traded. So yeah, Drew Holiday still going to be a solid option. Like you said, point guards and bigs are some of the first to go usually in the early rounds, early to mid rounds. Um, no other changes. I mean, I couldn't see. I mean, Yanis should be Yanis. I don't think we should expect anything less. I'm not sure what he's improved this year, because he's always been improving. Um, but I'm not sure as well if managers are concerned about his stint at the Euro qualifiers, but it doesn't seem like it.
um yeah, they're not worried. And not that they're not worried. Maybe they're just overlooking the worry because he's good. I mean, he's that good head to head. I mean, if this was Roto, he won't be top two, top three. But head to head, he's definitely going to be very popular pick. Just easy to build around him. You just quickly you have your direction, punt free throws when you get Giannis. So you go fast into that direction, and then when you go to the turn, there are lots of players that can fit in that build also. So, but you worry because he had an injury in the Eurobasket. The ankle and multiple other injuries, small injuries here and there. There was soreness and everything. So you still worry about that. There is no injury history with Giannis, but doesn't mean he's not gonna get injured. I mean,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There's
Any freak,
always
it could happen. A freak accident could happen here and
yeah.
there. Now my question: you mentioned about punt free throw. Do you if is it an automatic thing? Because there's been impressions about if you pick Giannis or you pick Luca, most likely you're gonna be punting this and that. That's why they're not as highly ranked, I guess, quote unquote, among analysts, I guess, in terms of compared to the other players, right? Uh, do you necessarily have to really punt?
For
Or is there a
Giannis,
way for them, for managers to not really punt free throws?
yes, there's a way. I mean, Giannis free throws have improved a lot. Giannis free throws have improved a lot already. That's why Giannis is already ranked in the top 10, even with free throws included. No, it's not like before when he was outside of the top 10, maybe 12, 13 because of the free throws. It's really a big drag. But in 11 free throws last year, he shot 73%, 72%. So that is not that bad. But
Yeah.
it's just that you have to draft. It's harder to draft the next few picks without punting free throws when you have Giannis. Because if you're not punting free throws, 72% is 72%. That is not gonna be enough to win. And his volume free throws at 11 attempts a game. So you have to get that up to at least your team's average, at least 80, 78, 79, 80 to have a decent chance. And the only way you can do that is drafting good free throw shooters. If you draft another poor free throw shooter, it's
Which is most
basically
likely.
over. Yeah, which just limits you. It's that's why people are asking, do you need to punt to win? Do you not need to punt to win? There's no right answer there. It's just if your first pick is Yanis, that's the smart thing to do. Because in the next few picks, it's getting harder and harder. Your choices will be getting harder, and then you will limit yourself to saying that I can't get another poor free throw shooter because I have Yanis. That limits your choice even more. So that's not the smart way of drafting
And
in general.
it's you might as well overlook the strengths of Yanis, because Yanis' strengths are the big man stats, like the field goal, the rebounding, right, the blocks,
Blocks.
right. So these are big man stats, and we know big men are notoriously bad at free throws. Most of them, right? Very rare do you get big men. So now, if you're trying not to punch free throw, what will happen is you will try to pick some guards, some shooters, which will now not complement Yanis' stat set, right? And before you know it, you'll probably get players, you're probably punting rebounds or punting the field goal already because you've got shooters, right? That's what happened in the first draft that I had, right? We had Lillard early on. We have two good free throw shooters, and then I overdrafted on some centers, trying to get some beef up some reboundings, overlooking some stats like threes, points, wherein Lillard was strong somehow. So I think that's going to be, like you said, it's going to be a challenge if you try to, not punt free throw with Giannis.
Actually, punting up to a point when you're in the second or third, in head-to-head, you have to do it. I mean, up to a point, it makes it easier. It just makes it easier. And experienced managers, you can see that when you draft, you can see the experienced managers doing it. And I think it's hard to just balance everything out. It's not roto, it's head-to-head.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Lastly, the center battle. I think we've got three solid center options. Well, at least name value wise, Brooke Lopez, Bobby Portis, and Serge Ibaka. Can Brooke Lopez and Portis be fantasy relevant still? Portis was, Brooke was not last year. Heading into this year, who is the better fantasy option?
I would go Brooke. I would go Brooke Lopez this year. Brooke Lopez is where? Let me see. He's ranked lower than Portis if I'm not mistaken. He's 120, 121. I think Portis is around earlier, a little earlier than that. Portis though might get minutes at power forward because you see Giannis there. The backups are not really well, his brother. Basically just for hustle plays and everything. Sandro Mamu is
just for moral support.
Thanasis is moral support. Sandro is a little raw. So Brooke, of course, we know he'll not get a lot of minutes. He'll get 25 maybe at most. Portis can get to 25 if he plays some power forward. I don't expect Ibaka to get really a lot of minutes. He's just gonna be, showing up here and there. So Brooke Lopez for me with the blocks, with the threes. People have forgotten about that. Of course, last year was terrible. He was out the whole season basically, and he played only a couple of games.
And
so
Portis
he's gonna be
was a good fantasy option last year.
Yeah, but he's not gonna be as good as last year. And Portis has a lot of holes in his game. Here, Portis is 101, rank 101 for this season, and last season was really good for him. He shot, let's see, he had 15 points, 2 threes, 9 rebounds. Those are best case scenarios for Portis. Even in that situation, he was 0.7 blocks, 0.7 steals, and around 40 something, 48% field goal for a center. So Lopez still fares better in fantasy because of 3-pointers and blocks, and then better free throws also. So Lopez is still the better option for him.
All right, and
discounted.
Who do you think will surprise here? Any player?
Not much here really with Milwaukee. As we said, Milwaukee's kind of like the new San Antonio. So maybe Pat Connaughton. People not really surprised. People know about Pat. He's like a DFS, like a Royce O'Neal kind of player, which is like a glue guy, can help here and there. But still, people still overlook him. I mean, I think
though not draftable in 14
not draftable. But at the start of the season, if Chris Middleton will miss some games, Ingles will miss until maybe All-Star break. So Pat might get a lot of minutes early on. Marjon Beauchamp, the rookie, might get some minutes also, but he's not really he's not really ready in my opinion to contribute fantasy wise. So maybe Pat Connaughton will get a lot of minutes early in the season if Middleton misses time. So he might have value early in the season.